Let's take you to the Northwest, where some municipalities have lost conditional grants amounting to almost 480 million rand allocated for the 2022-23 financial year due to a lack of spending. National Treasury has written to MEC for Local Government, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs, Nunumaloi, publishing names of the municipalities that will forfeit the grants. Refiloe Seboko is standing by to detail those municipalities for us. Good afternoon, Refiloe.
Good afternoon, Dudu. To not waste much time, that briefing is just completed, but allow me to welcome MEC of Finance in the Northwest, Motalepilo Khosho. Thank you so much, Makhosho, and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. In terms of, finances, we've seen reports that money has been sent back to the National Treasury. Give us, amounts and how much of a concern is it for your department in the province?
No, thank you very much, Refiloe. Look, Refiloe, I must just put it clear that we have the 1.8 billion budget that is unspent, and then 1 billion is on conditional grants, and 853 million is on equitable share, which is within our provincial revenue fund. But there's no money that has already been sent to national revenue fund, because as the closure of the 31st of March, the preliminary report that indicates that we have 1 billion in conditional grants. Departments are going to make applications to request for rollover funds. And that process, we are now in progress in making sure that we start, departments have lodged their request, and then we will be assessing those requests, and as and when we assess those requests, we close them in terms of the request as per projects that are already in progress, because we want to complete the project. And that process, after it's concluded, remember at our adjustment budget, we'll be able to reallocate those funds at the rollover request to the departments.
Let me move to MEC Molapisi to talk about the issues of road infrastructure. Tata Molapisi, thank you so much and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. We see that there are projects that are happening in terms of road and infrastructure in the province. Is the timeline and how much money has been allocated to fix the roads in the province?
Thank you very much, Fifi, and thanks for having us. Yes, now I can confirm that we are trying to improve services to our communities in terms of road infrastructure in the province. We have budgeted over just 1.4 billion for road infrastructure in the province, both for upgrading of the roads, upgrading, rehabilitation of our roads and maintenance. So what we have done so far, we have committed 40% of our provincial road maintenance grant to the district, something that was never done before, so that we timelessly appoint contractors in the district who can intervene on our roads at the district level in as far as maintenance is concerned. We will be upgrading some of our roads, like we would normally say that, look, the budget is not that sufficient to can do all the roads in the province. But with the little that we get from the treasury, which normally they would increase on an annual basis, we are trying to build our capacity, the internal capacity, but also ensure that we upgrade some of the priority roads in the province. I must also mention that we are engaging ISA, which is Infrastructure for South Africa, to come on board, and the Premier would have announced this in his State of the Province address, so that they can assist in some of our roads, more especially those that needs to be upgraded.
Let me maybe welcome MEC. Thank you so much, MEC Molapisi, to just also find out how these projects will be completed. MEC Nonomalo will be joining us just now to also understand how are they going to protect the funds to make sure that the projects that are being started in the Northwest Province are gets to be completed. MEC, thank you so much and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Let's talk about maybe also what you touched on, the preliminary revenue and expenditure for the end of March 2023, but also issue of corruption that has always been raised in terms of, you also touched on unfinished projects and some of the contractors that are not competent to complete the job.
No, indeed, we are worried about the number of projects that are incomplete, not only in human settlement, all the projects. But in human settlement, what we have done now We have assigned the department led by the HOD, working together with other government agencies to make an assessment in the entire province. How many housing projects are incomplete, what is the cost, and what needs to be done. I've already had a session with the minister, indicating that the work which was done previously had suggested that we are going to need not less than 1.3 billion to complete all these incomplete units. Now it is 2023, the amount might have increased and so on. So once that exercise is complete, and I'm hoping that that exercise will be completed by next month, we'll then be able to say what is it that we are going to do. But I must indicate that on Friday this week, I'm meeting with a team that is preparing for the ABT, Alternative Building Technology, because we are intending to have a summit in May this year, starting from the 18th of May. And we'll be inviting everybody in the country and outside the country in order for them to say what is it that we can do, what alternative means are there that we can intervene, because preliminary indications are that the Canadians are more than willing to come immediately and invest not less than 1.6 billion. And we are looking into addressing the challenges that I spoke about, these unfinished projects. But once all these exercises are completed and so on, we'll be making the necessary pronouncements.
Thank you so much for your time, MEC of Kokta in the North West Province, Nono Maloi. That briefing has just been completed, and like you said, that they are going to make sure that there are necessary interventions that are being implemented to bring state of affairs in the North West Province back to its normality.
Thank you very much, Refiloe Seboko, for that update.